at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue. I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall, and if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.
Welcome to Open Mic America. Today we have TK Tran as our engineer and Evan Acey as our interviewing host, and I'm Daphna Ramiel, your MC. We support our local open mics, and it's our pleasure to present the more accomplished singer-songwriters who play at those events. No gimmicks, no frills. This is the beating heart of American music, the tapestry of song and story that's been weaving us together for generations. And now let's introduce all our performers. First, we have Rob Cork from Beaverton, Oregon. Rob, you can wave. Yay. Deb Weslow from Belvedere, Texas. Jules from Portland, Oregon. Tom Cooney from Pennsburg, Pennsylvania. Nick Carter from Riverside, Connecticut. Louis Beeler from Charlotte, North Carolina. Hank Stone from East Pachogue, New York. Bron Selfridge from Eugene, Oregon. And Ken Gaines from Oregon City, Oregon. So it looks like this week Oregon wins, but we have people from all around the country coming together for the music, and that makes us all very, very happy. So let us start with our first performer, Rob Cork from Beaverton, Oregon, and he likes to play at the Influence Music Hall, live and virtual from Hillsboro, Oregon. Take it away, Rob.
Hey guys, it's nice to be back here. Here's a couple of songs. If I sound a little hoarse, it's just because I've been out playing quite a bit lately. So let's see if I've done enough voice nursing. See how this goes. Mona, you are a beautiful woman with an extraordinary mind. Please accept these 99 roses and know I'd love to have you in my life. You can spend your life fantasies in full flight, hoping perfect star will meet your eye. Gather round you now like a satellite, tearing up the Tuesday night sky, or else give me a try. Mona, you are a beautiful woman with an extraordinary mind. We could be such a lovely distraction, but I'll give you time to decide. My confidence is shaking from its foundations. My hopes were bulldozed to the ground. Now I see you're in the same situation. Let's see if we can turn it around. Come on and show me a sign. Please believe me that I say what I mean, but I understand that it might seem these are rusty old romantic minds set to disguise or deceive, but that's not me. I wanna be the last one to love you. We'll be a raft against the wake. You give me something to live up to. I promise to give more than I take. come on, throw me a line. Mona, you are a beautiful woman with an extraordinary mind. We could be more than a one-night attraction, but I'll give you time to decide.
Oh, yay!
Bravo, nice.
No kidding.
Great way to open the show.
All right. Yeah. Well, I figured a little duster would be good. This song was the result of a challenge our interviewer gave my wife and I last year at this time to write a Christmas song. So we put it together. It often gets me choked up, so I'll see what I can do here. It's called Angelic Golden Wings. Here we go. Stringing the lights on the Christmas tree, in his heart it talks to her. Unpacking a favorite cherub figurine with angelic golden wings. This Christmas she's walking with the Prince of Peace, far away from worry and pain. As the heavenly chorus sings in angelic golden wings, angelic golden wings, the joy the season brings. Oh, he misses her so much, but he knows she's held with love and angelic golden wings. He sets the table for the Christmas feast, lays a red rose on her chair. Down the street the church bells ring to angelic golden wings, angelic golden wings, the joy the season brings. Oh, he misses her so much, but he knows she's held with love and angelic golden wings. Never had a notion about love or heaven till she became his wife. Read in the word and he understood there's more to us than just this life. Beyond this life, he sees her eyes in every face as they gather round the table in prayer. Fragile are these simple things, like angelic golden wings, angelic golden wings, joy the season brings. Oh, he misses her so much, but he knows she's held with love and angelic golden wings.
Whoa.
Right.
Wonderful, Rob.
What's up, Rob?
Woo.
Where's that napkin? Wow, Rob, thank you. Couple of great hits there. You know, I have the privilege of knowing you both as a local musician and the privilege of calling you a friend, because we live locally and we've met on the stages and we've become friends. And so I've heard many, if not all, of the songs that you've written. And one thing that always stands out to me in your writing is that every song is different from the other. The tempo, the melodies, the tags. You know, a lot of writers tend to have a signature sound and or feel to their songs, right? Like think of Bob Dylan. You know a Dylan song within the first measure of the tune. And so I'm curious, how do you account for those variations and where does that come from?
Boy, you're gonna have to talk to my shrink about that one. If I had one. Man, that is a really good question. And, I think the easy answer is part of it's Penny, because some of these melodies come right out of her head with the lyrics. A lot of times I come up with the melodies, and just like yourself, I fiddle around with just kind of stream of consciousness guitar playing, and a melody reveals itself. Um, I think some of it's just sheer eclecticism in terms of my musical taste. I mean, I tend to gravitate a little more towards kind of the string band sound, if you will, right now, because that's what I'm playing with the fellas. Um, but yeah, they are all over the place, and I'd like to think that maybe they're just their gifts. They just kind of you know come in from wherever they're born and wherever they go to, and we're just the crystal radio that brings them into reality.
Excellent. So you had mentioned at the beginning of your set that you've been playing a lot. And again, being local, I have privy to know all of the different gigs that you're doing. And they don't seem to necessarily be tied to the holidays, but you're really enjoying some local success in that you're sought after by venues and places. How does that feel after? I mean, yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been a hiatus. I mean, part of it's Tualatin Valley Artists and Influence Music Hall has been a big part of that. With the first Tuesday thing that we do, that's been absolutely huge. But there are other things as well. I've made most of my really good family friends right now. Penny and I were discussing this. Are people from the hall. I mean, these are our big closest friendships right now, with notable exceptions, of course. So I'm playing with those guys. Um, One thing that I think is interesting is that one of the guys I play with in the string band I've known since college. I've known since I looked at a picture from him from back then, and he was a baby. He might have been 18 or 19 or something like that. So, I was a little older, but I look at pictures of me from that time, and I was a kid. So just I guess just some perseverance. I mean, unlike the old days, I'm not really after anything other than just the playing. If I was trying to make money or a name or some kind of thing, I honestly don't know if it'd be happening or not, because I really dislike that part of the business. The part of the business that I like is this right here. Making connections with people through music and associations. I think that's really what it's all about, and I'd say it's probably why it's happening.
Excellent. Well, thank you for bringing these songs to the Open Mic America's stage tonight. It's wonderful to have you here. And let's turn this back over to Daphne.
Thank you so much, Rob. And I love what you said just at the very end. I think that's the core of it, isn't it? Yeah. Next, we have someone coming back to us from, and I massacred the name when I introduced her to begin with. It's Deb Westlow, I believe from Bulverde, Texas.
There you go.
She can.
There you go.
Oh, good. I did it
Good
this
job.
time. Her favorite open mic is the Redbird Listening Room in New Braunfels, Texas. So I guess you could probably find her there and here also. So Deb, the stage is yours.
Okay, I'm going to play a song I wrote last year. I had some help from one of my Soldier Songs and Voices fellow veterans, Lee Height. It's called Christmas Song for Mom. Singing Christmas carols by the tree, wishing you were still here with me. Gifts below with an angel on the top. This season I think of you non-stop. Always your favorite time of year. Spent with family, spreading silent night at midnight mass. Oh, these memories of the past. My Christmas song for you, Mom. I'm singing you this special song filled with my enduring love, lifting my voice to heaven above. Christmas is not the same without you here. Keep hoping somehow you'll appear. Even though we're now apart, you're always a melody in my heart. My Christmas song for you, Mom. I'm singing you this special song filled with my enduring love, lifting my voice to heaven above. The bygone holidays I still long, so I share your Christmas song. Looking at the angel on the tree, I hear you singing right beside me. My Christmas song for you, Mom. I'm singing you this special song filled with my enduring love, lifting my voice to heaven above, lifting my voice to heaven above.
Oh, how beautiful.
Beautiful.
So beautiful.
Very sweet.
The next one I'm going to do is called Without a Net. She longs to perform in front of a crowd, wanting to make her mama proud. Someday she'll reach her goal of being a star of a Broadway show. She arrived with dreams from a foreign place, veiled desperation upon her face, trying to forge a better life away from danger and strife. Walking along a tightrope, balancing with hope, acrobatics that touch the sky. No one to catch her, still she flies, 'cause she's dancing on the edge of the ledge without a net. always consumed in endless fear that someone will find out she is here. This is a reality. From her past she longs to be free, working dead-end jobs to pay the rent, facing a stigma that never ends. Knowing it's a small price to pay in order to live this way. Walking along a tightrope, balancing with hope, acrobatics that touch the sky. No one to catch her, still she flies, 'cause she's dancing on the edge of the ledge without a net. She longs to perform in front of a crowd, wanting to make her mama proud.
Oh,
Very lovely.
yes, sweet,
Have
Deb.
your melodies.
Beautiful, sweet.
No kidding. Wow. Hi, Deb.
Hi, Evan.
Thank you for being-
like Influence Music Hall is also one of my favorites. I had to pick one, I guess. So
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for being vulnerable on the stage. You always, let what's inside of you show, and it's really neat because, I mean, we've been sharing digital stages now for about a year. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we've come to know each other that way. And if I remember correctly, you were on the Soldier Songs and Voices stage when you heard about Influence Music Hall, our digital open mic, right?
Yes.
And so in the year that we've shared these stages together, the bulk of the songs that I've heard you perform have had their roots in the varied stories that stem from your military service to our country. And thank you for that, by the way. And the renewal and the healing that springs forth in the aftermath of that life. And so, did you write songs before you became a soldier?
No, I didn't write songs until about 3 years ago when I got involved with Soldier Songs and Voices and started writing songs with their assistance. Most of the songs I've written have had some help from somebody from the group, whether it be a musician or a fellow veteran. So great organization.
Cool. And so we can thank them for helping you and inspiring you to come into this because you capture so many moments so really well. And so then when I mentioned that the life that springs forth in the aftermath and the healing that comes from being in those situations, it's evidenced in the year that you and I have become friends and fellow performers, because I watch and the songs that you just sang, you're actually stretching into a place where you're looking at life now and how it can be different. And you even mentioned that in that last song. And so, because I had wondered if you were writing songs before, what did they sound like? But I've actually been watching you almost be like in a cocoon and then come out. Are you noticing that you feel that way?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I really had, like I said, I never had even considered writing a song before 3 years ago, and now just all these opportunities are opening up, and all these great venues, whether it be online or in person. It's great opportunities out there. I'm just so fortunate.
So what was that defining moment for you when you said, I got to write about this and tell my story and the story of others around me? Because you do that. You don't just cover yours, you cover the experience of friends who have gone through this with you.
Actually, my first song that I wrote, "You Can Go," was about my cancer journey, and that's kind of what brought me to Soldier Songs and Voices. I was looking for something different to do after the things I was doing with my normal life had changed to a new normal, and well, here I am.
All right. Well, we're glad that you've passed through that journey and that you're here with us making live music. It's a wonderful experience to have you on the Open Mic America stage this evening. Thank you for coming out.
Thanks for letting me on again. It was great to be on again. It's good to see everybody.
Daphne, back to you.
I'm muted. There we go. Thank you, Deb. It's always very, very sweet to hear you and to hear a little bit about you too. Next we have Jules, and Jules is from Portland, Oregon. And I didn't write where she likes to play, but maybe she could tell us just before starting. So Jules, welcome to our stage again, and just share with us a little bit about where you play first.
Yes, so I am in Portland, Oregon. I spent a bit of time in Austin, so I was playing at the New World Deli and Cactus Cafe, and I'm excited to be back and go back to Eastburn, Star Day, and Laurel Thirst are probably my favorites around Portland, and Blue Ox. There's so many. I'm sure I've missed a few, but those are the ones I like to go to. Thank you. I thought I would try to play a song in development. I've been a little stifled lately. Other things on my mind as I shift careers. So I'm glad I signed up for this months ago. So I'm like, oh yeah, I want to write music. next one is from last year. We can play it on the electric. It's called Boots. By the 6 weeks in April, am I running out of time? This is the cruelest month to be singing out of rhyme, but the debtors keep on calling, the bells keep coming due, and all the promises I made, I still wanna come true. Come on, Jesus, give me a sign. I keep on telling you I love you, but you ain't got the time. Oh, come on, Jesus, give me a sign. Keep on telling me you love me, but you ain't got the time. Back in March, before it all went down, I said I loved you, I might always stick around. But sometimes these boots, well, they walk on their own. And every time I think of you, you're gone. Come on, Jesus, give me a sign. You keep on telling me you love me, but you ain't got the time. Oh, come on, Jesus, give me a sign. I keep on telling you I love you, but I ain't got the time. Never thought I'd lose my way. Never thought I'd fall behind. Never thought I'd be the kind to drown in a pile of leaves. Come on, Jesus, give me a sign. You keep on telling me you love me, but I ain't got the time. Oh, come on, Jesus, give me a sign. You keep on telling me you love me. You keep on telling me you love me. I keep on telling you I love you. But we ain't got the time.
That was gorgeous.
Oh, Jules, how
You sound like Annie Lennox. I hope that
Oh,
I
wow.
hope that's welcome to your ears, because I think you really sound lovely.
Oh, thank you so much. And thanks for having me here. It's really an honor and a pleasure to be able to play with folks.
Wow. I just love what you're doing. So, give me a sign. What an interesting thing, because you would not have had any idea that you would sing that song and that would be a sign from Jesus for me. So thank you for that. Yeah, really good confirmation for something big that's coming up for me this weekend. Thank you. And yeah, really cool. I love the way that dots connect like that, and you just never know where you can expect to have those dots connected.
Yeah.
So, I just got to ask, you tell the story of the guitar that you're playing. I'm a gearhead, and like, this guitar has been around a little bit.
It has. So I have played acoustic my whole life, and I just started having really bad wrist problems, and I kept trying to change my form and my shape, and I finally just said, I'm gonna go get an electric. And I went to a shop in Austin, actually, Texas, and found this guitar. And I'd probably tried, a ton. I went to many shops and played with others, but this one just has a nice small neck. It was used. It has this, you know, energy of life's past. It's a 60 something, and yeah, so it's great. It's lightweight. It's easy to play. It's about as easy as they come. It's really easy on my wrist. So now I just have to adapt all my acoustic songs to electric, which is fun.
I like that you mentioned that you played a lot of guitars, because I love it when people are shopping and they actually take the time to play a lot of guitars, because there's always going to be that one like that just, as soon as you started playing it, you said, oh, this is my guitar.
I never thought I'd play a Fender of all things, like the gear. I'm like, oh no, I'm just, I'm a campfire guitarist and I've got these beaters. And then I was like, well, this is a beater. So I think it counts, but yeah, it's lovely.
That actually is really, another thing is, as I look at the setting that you're in, I see that you also play the ukulele, and then you have some artwork on the wall. Is that your artwork or something that you purchased?
I believe all the artwork in this frame is other artists. I'm blessed to have just wonderful friends that make art and share it. So yes.
Yeah, well, you go ahead.
Oh, I'm trying to figure out what's in view, but I guess there's a watercolor from Rocky, and anyway, happy to share links if anyone's interested.
Yeah, well, you live in Portland, and Portland, I'm from Portland, spent
Okay.
time as a homeless teen in Portland, grew up around Portland, and I live out in a suburb, in Beaverton now. And so Portland is such a hopping place for live music and artistic, creative people. And so, to be surrounded by friends and stuff is, how long have you been in Portland?
22, almost 23 years.
Long enough to get acquainted with the locals then.
Yeah, yeah.
So then the other thing that I noticed in looking at the surroundings is the fire extinguisher. Now, I thought I was the only person who actually kept one of those. And so what's the story there?
I just like to be in code. You never
Oh,
know.
yep.
My kitchen's right this way, so this seemed like the best place out of the range of where the stove fire would be, but still accessible. And a friend of a friend, I guess, now a friend, had one framed like on the wall as art, and I just thought that was cool. So I haven't put the frame around it yet, but maybe someday. Then
That
you have,
is really,
I mean, that's functional art, so.
right. Absolutely. Functional art. That's the way I always look at it too. I've got one in a couple different places, and I go and people don't have them. I always want to ask, why don't you have one? But yeah, good on you.
Yeah.
So, I'm kind of curious about the style of music that you play, and being vulnerable in that way. Who are your musical influences, and when did you decide you wanted to join the ranks and start making music?
So many influences. It's hard, and it kind of depends on the day and the mood. I'm a very go with the mood person. And I think to some degree, I played in high school with my sister. We made songs. We had a band. And somewhere in the world there is a cassette tape with some songs on it. And then just kind of, life happened. And a couple years ago, about a year right before the pandemic, I was drinking in a bar with a friend, and the bar owner was like, "Hey, are you a musician?" And I said, "Yeah, why not?" And he pulls out a calendar. He's like, "Well, when do you want to play?" And so, funny story, forgot about it, was drinking. Months later, I have this reminder on my phone. I'm like, "Oh shit, I have a show coming up. I better write some music." And so that I got into it, and yeah, so I'm excited. I should say that I've got an album coming out someday. I've got songs off to get mastered right now, and it's been a huge learning process to just understand how much effort really goes into putting an album out, and it makes me re-listen to music in a new way. Mad props to everyone who can do it.
Right, for sure. Well, we're really glad that you found the Open Mic America stage. It's been wonderful to hear from you again. This is not your first time here, but we're glad that you joined us tonight, and we look forward to hearing more. And let us know when those albums are coming out, because we're listening. Let's turn it back over to Daphne.
Jules, thank you. And that's so funny how backwards it seems. You had a show that you were booked for, so then you had to write music to go play. Some people have a lot of songs to play and they're looking around for somewhere to play it. It's great. I bet it was wonderful. I really enjoyed your performance. And now we're going to go hear from Tom Cooney from Pennsburg, Pennsylvania, and he can also tell us a place where he likes to play there.
Hi, good to see everyone and hear everyone. Everyone sounds great. Nice music, Jules. In between Philadelphia and Allentown, so I play with the Philadelphia Folk Song Society Open Mic and Philadelphia area songwriters, and up in Bethlehem, Godfrey Daniels. So I try to get around a little bit and belong to a few songwriting groups as well.
So take it away.
All right, thanks. This is a song I wrote about 6 weeks ago. It's called Welcome to the New Life. And it was driven by the motivation to reset everything. Welcome to the new life, arrow racing from the bow, stone hovering over water, flame with one place to go. Welcome to the new life. Welcome to the new life, afterglow of past behind. Hold close to the newfound oneness in your heart and hand and mind. Welcome to the new life. To those who've gone ahead, to those who've lost their way, to those whose paths are different, we are all here today. For there are no others, there's no one undeserving of love, no one not born of the light, flowing within and above. Welcome to the new life. Welcome to the new life. Shed the burdens of regret. Breathe in the wonders around you. At the source of the watershed. Welcome to the new life. 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 Welcome to the new, welcome to the new, welcome to the new life.
Oh, wow. Somebody needs to write a theater show and make that the opening song.
Thank you very kindly. Thanks for the response, everyone. That song, again, came out of the motivation for post-COVID and a lot of the divisiveness going around. It just struck me one morning. Sometimes you have to do a 180 and just think super, super positive, and that's kind of where that song came from. This next song is called Nell in the Teacup. I wrote it in 2018. And it's a song about a woman who's been going to a tiny cafe and sitting by the old window for decades. brimming teacup, like a chalice full of truth. She closes her eyes, inhales the sweet chai, and sips from her fountain of youth. She comes to this old cafe window to slow the decades racing by. Maybe a friend, a lover, or stranger, a melancholy smile, or a tear in her eye. To quiet the endless longing, to still the heart in need, to ready for the sweet nothing. May it flow like a crystal dream. Nell settles her cup on the table like a fragile piece of glass. Then she tips it so gently over. The tea rolls off the table at last. And she smiles like it's the first time. And she smiles like it's the last. Her eyes are the piercing sun at midnight. Her mind free of future and past. So quiet, the endless longing, so still the heart in need. She revels in the sweet nothing. And life flows like a crystal dream. Life flows like a crystal dream. Life flows.
Oh, so beautiful. Tom.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thanks, Daniel.
Meditative.
Yeah, it was written as a meditation song. It's a spin on the Zen koan about the empty teacup. So she tips the cup over on the table, and she's trying to clear her mind, so she's totally present. And that's why she goes to the cafe. So, yeah.
Excellent. And that was perceptive of you to notice that he had written that way. So welcome, Tom, to the Open Mic America stage. So, speaking of, I've mentioned catalogs when I was talking to Rob earlier, and it seems like you land just about everywhere on the big map of music styles. I haven't found yet, but I would not be surprised to hear some hard rock or heavy metal with your signature vocals pumping out the lyrics. So where do you find yourself most at home on that map? And what is it about that style that draws you in? If somebody pushed you and said 3, 2, 1 bungee, what style are you going to land on more often than not?
Well, the tagline I came up with in my original stuff is it's contemporary folk with blues and jazz influence.
Mm-hmm.
As you're right, I play across the spectrum and I write across the spectrum, but I'm most at home writing the contemporary folk style things, but I like to modulate, I like to add jazz chords, and that's just what I hear in my head. So
I love perusing your digital catalog, and it was like taking a drive across America and seeing all the different towns. You're going to get country some here. You're certainly going to find jazz over there. It was really, really nice, and so I love the variety.
Thanks.
So as I was watching some of your videos, I saw a video of you performing Dancing on the Moon. And as a gearhead, I made special note of the Godin guitar that you were playing. And so what I'm wondering, is that a multi-act with the 13-pin MIDI-enabled guitar?
It is. It's a multi-act SA, and it has a 13-pin MIDI output. And the funny story is I wrote this song on jazz guitar and played it on acoustic. But the day I recorded it in the studio, the engineer had a multi-act. I never played it, hadn't played that particular kind of nylon guitar. And I picked it up, and it struck me so beautifully. So I asked the keyboard player, my friend Gene Galligan, wonderful keyboard player from North Carolina. I said, Gene, do you want to try it like this? It was the first time we'd ever played the song with that guitar, and it just fell into that groove. And I really like that tune.
So I was going to ask you how far down the rabbit hole you've gone with plugging it into, say, a GR55 or something, but it doesn't sound like you've done that.
I have, but I like the more traditional sounds. The synth stuff, I'll look elsewhere to get synth sounds. Plus, the GR55 and the other live synthesizers are really primarily meant for live play, for folks who are playing a lot of lead. And I'm not that kind of guy, but they are fascinating. And so is that guitar.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate your music and your variety. It's wonderful to have you on this stage. Thank you for coming out tonight.
Always good to be back. Thanks.
Daphne, back to you.
Thank you, Tom. And now we are going to welcome back Nick Carter from Riverside, Connecticut.
Hey, Daphne.
Hi. Welcome back. It's good. It's going to be good to hear you again. And I understand you want to make a shout out to the Horseshoe Cafe in
That's right.
Southport, Connecticut. That's great. So the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. It's wonderful to see some folks that I've seen before and to be back with Open Mic America. My thanks to TK for helping us all to sound and look so good, at least to put all the technology into good motion for us tonight. I've enjoyed so much everybody's music who's come before. I'm really grateful that I hope Evan won't be asking me those heavy tech questions that Tom Cooney fielded so beautifully a few minutes ago. Anyway, this one is called Fountain Pen. It's the title track on the album that I released in September. And suffice it to say, it's a song that speaks for itself, I hope. Please don't hate me for the words she made me write. She's been talking to herself all night. Her trembling hand is steady now. Her thoughts are coming clear. She's leaving you one last souvenir. I am her only fountain pen. the birthday gift you gave her back then. And I can't count the times she's picked me up and put me down. But she's writing rain the way the ink is pouring out. Her words say you are out of time. They lay across the page like a field of mines. No way out between the lines. I can't stop her from writing it's the end. I am just a fountain pen, like a jet black arrow flying from her hand. I signed your names the day you traded wedding bands and Italian summer postcards, late night letters back at school, and notes of devotion by two crazy loving fools. But tonight she's asking how it all went wrong, drawing lines straight to all you could have done, and question marks in margins hanging heavy, so cold. One exclamation point closing in to take its toll, and her words say you are out of time. They lay across the page like a field of mines. No way out between the lines. I can't stop her from writing it's the end. I am just a fountain pen. Now her pain is out of hiding. She can't fake it anymore. And the ink from my lips draws you a goodbye kiss. And she packs me in her suitcase, pins the letter to the door. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh, the words she writes say you are out of time. They lay across the page like a field of mines. And there's no way out between the lines. I can't stop her from writing it's the end. I am just a fountain pen, and I can't stop before it's over the end. I am just a fountain pen.
Wow.
Whoa.
That was right. That's,
So beautiful.
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. Always a challenge to write out about an inanimate object and to give it a voice. So this one, considerably more upbeat. It's a little autobiographical. It's about a time in life for me where the guitar became a stranger. I can only tell you that words fail me when I try to describe how glad I am that the guitar is back in my life. But this is called My Guitar Is My Compass. Winter '78, I finally quit the band for a job back home with family. I just did not see the trouble coming down as my guitar became a stranger to me. Fresh out of school, steady paycheck in hand, my pockets full of cash, had an office in the field, helping farmers work the land. 3 good years before the crash. Then the markets broke the farms, and the banks came calling for the keys. I closed up shop, and I watched the bridges burn. My hometown wasn't home to me. The right road don't always lead you home, and the wrong ones are paved with alibis. But if my guitar is my compass when I go, I'll find my road, and my songs will be the stars I'm guided by. I went to work on Wall Street, found no peace of mind, started playing downtown bars, finally broke away and left the suits behind and traded stocks for tips in a jar. The right road don't always lead you home, and the wrong ones are paved with alibis. But if my guitar is my compass when I go, I'll find my road, and my songs will be the stars I'm guided by. Here we go now. On a corner, you'll find me now in Soho, playing like I'm paying off a debt. My guitar case catching quarters for a solo, but it's better than a promise never kept. Oh, it's better than a promise never kept. The right road don't always lead you home, and the wrong ones are paved with alibis. But if my guitar is my compass when I go, I'll find my road. Indeed I will. The right road don't always lead you home, and the wrong ones are paved with alibis. But if my guitar is my compass when I go, I'll find my road, and my songs will be the stars I'm guided by. Oh, a song will be the stars I'm guided by. Oh, now come my friend, help me find my road, and now won't you help me find my way home, and be my compass when I go. Gonna take it out.
Yeah.
Here. Aaron, love that song too, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Wow, I think probably pretty much everybody in this room found themselves inside of that story. You told it super well.
Thank you.
Thank you. So Nick, I have kids that grew up in the 90s, and so my daughter wanted me to ask you this question. So have you ever had someone show up at one of your shows because they thought that maybe you used to be one of the Backstreet Boys?
No, not yet.
Okay, Nick Carter was one of the famous singers from there. She's like,
Oh, I
"Honey,
know,
you have
I
Nick
know
Carter on
exactly.
today?"
I know exactly who you're talking about. When this album, Fountain Pen, was released, I had the help of a fine tech guy who made real sure that this thing navigated straight past the Backstreet Boy into your hearts and minds.
Right on, yeah.
But it took a lot of preparation because we were very cognizant of that. Mm-hmm. So your daughter her question is certainly understandable, and it's not an unwelcome question. It's not the first time I've heard it. So
okay. So, as I listen to a series of songs from your catalog, it stands out to me that you have a gift to be able to be aware of the moment that you're in, and then you have a remarkable way of weaving words together in such a way as to encapsulate that season or moment and then draw others into it through melody and song. So what I wonder when I hear these kind of things, it makes me wonder if it's always been that way for you. Did you write stories and poems before you began playing music? Is that wordsmith something that when did it start for you?
You know, I'd sooner take a tech question that you felt to Tom Cooney. That's a tough question. But no, seriously. I guess the answer is, yeah, I guess I've always tried to weave a story, first thing. That's for sure. And I do appreciate the question very much, Evan. I think the process is, you know, over time, I just found that writing songs that speak of something in the moment, that are kind of a story, are where I'm happiest, where I feel like get the most traction out of pen and paper and stuff. It's never easy. These songs you heard tonight, they were a long time, you know, coming out of the ether. You know, the idea comes out of the ether, and then you spend a lot of time, you know, trying to craft it. So I guess my hope is, or the initial idea at the beginning of all this process for me was to try to write stuff that people could ultimately relate to. And I'm only just beginning. I'm just beginning to learn how to do this. Every time someone played tonight, I learned by watching and listening. Every person who's played before me tonight, I'm grateful to have heard them, and I'm looking forward to hearing everybody else tonight, because this is a long-term process, mm-hmm. And I'm lucky to be able to do it. I hope I can stay healthy, you know, mischievous enough in the right ways to kind of keep going.
Mm-hmm. Wow, well stated. Thank you very much for that. And so then the quick tech question. So that guitar does not look like any manufacturer that I'm aware of. It looks like a custom guitar.
Thank you for asking. Sure, it is. It wasn't custom made just for me, but I'm happy to tell you it's made by a luthier named Raymond Kraut, who's based in Tucson, and I fell in love with this one in the fall of 2019, about 3 years ago. And I was looking for a different brand. And the brand I was looking for is fabulous. That's what I wanted. But the guy who ran the shop said, I don't have one of those, but I've got something that's pretty close if you want to come and say hello. So this is a Kraut, this passive pickup. And she's a joy to play. Thank you for asking.
You betcha. Thank you for sharing with us tonight. Daphne, back to you.
Thank you again, Nick. And wow, we're into the second half of our show already. And next, from Charlotte, North Carolina, we have Louis Beeler. And Louis would like to shout out the Kodiak Open Mic in Concord, North Carolina, and the Afton Wine Room, also in Concord. Louis, it's all you.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me out again. It's nice to be here. I had a couple people asking about my background. That is actually a mural that I painted. I'm on the tiny stage here. We do a thing called tiny stage concerts right here in my living room. We record singer-songwriters from around the area. So if anybody's passing through the Charlotte area, you're welcome to stop by and do a concert for us. This first song I'm going to do is a little bit of a throwback. I wrote this 2 years ago, and I don't know if you guys remember, but we were kind of going through something back then. We had this little thing called the lockdown during the pandemic. So this was actually the only Christmas song I've ever written. So a little Christmas song from the COVID era for you.
Trying to hold it together. We've been hoping this all would get better. Waiting for a hero in the dark of the night. Wishing for a cure that still out of sight. And we've been doing what we can do. But this year, Santa, it's all up to you. No lords are leaping, no golden rings, no swans are swimming. Don't bring us these things. We don't need a partridge in a pear tree. Please, Santa, bring a COVID vaccine. Santa, if you bring us 2 turtle doves, we might strangle you with our latex gloves. We've been staying in our houses so much. If it wasn't for the cloud, we'd be losing touch. But these walls are starting to close in. I'm telling you, Santa, we could all use a win. No lords are leaping, no golden rings, no swans are swimming. Don't bring us these things. We don't need a partridge in a pear tree. Please, Santa, bring a COVID vaccine. Santa, we really hate to ask, will you be wearing a mask? No lords are leaping, no golden rings, no swans are swimming. Don't bring us these things. We don't need a partridge in a pear tree. Please, Santa, bring a COVID vaccine. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a COVID-19 vaccine. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. This next song I'm going to do is actually a co-write. I wrote it with a gentleman named Dave Grandel, who lives up in Canada. We're in a group called 100 Days of Songwriting. And so I wrote the lyrics for it, and he came up with some really nice music for it. It's basically a song about not a very nice person, so you can just put your person of choice in the blanks. We all know about that joker who claims to know all the answers. He'll flash some fancy fake diplomas, but he's just another song and dancer. I swear the glass is half empty, we know damn well it's full. He'll tell us all to push harder when the sign on the door says pull, and he's only in it for the money. Though he'll tell you it's not true. think he's being funny. But my friend, oh my friend, the joke is on you. Now it might have a shiny new package, but it's that same old snake oil. Have us walking around on eggshells. But those eggs have long been spoiled. There's brand new suckers born every day, and wait to give away their cash. But all he'll leave them is a bad memory, like a nasty poison ivy rash. And he's only in it for the money, though he'll tell you it's not true. Might even think he's being funny. But my friend, oh my friend, the joke is on you. Take a lesson from all the losers. Don't ante up in that sucker's game. You might be wearing sheep's clothing, but the labels have a wolf's brand name. And he's only in it for the money, though he'll tell you it's not true. Might even think he's being funny. But my friend, oh my friend, the joke is on you. It's my friend, oh my friend, the joke is on
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Right
Passion.
on. Great stuff, Lewis.
Thank you.
Love your mural too.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So, Lewis, you and I, we've had the privilege of sharing the Open Mic America digital stage a few times this year.
Yeah.
And at the start of all of our shows, before we even go live on the air, we ask each of the performers to give a shout out to their favorite local or online open mic. And if I've been paying attention, I think you've mentioned different venues each time. And so I have wanted to ask you this question. And so where is your absolute favorite open mic venue, and what is it about that venue that makes the experience a consistently great open mic venue to perform at?
Oh, wow. There are quite a few of them. We actually have a nice little group of songwriters here in the Charlotte area. It's really a supportive group. It's kind of unique because everybody's really trying to elevate each other rather than trying to, fight for the gigs. So there's a couple in Concord that I go to fairly regularly, and it tends to be the same core of people that we've known for years. I actually used to host open mics here in the Charlotte area years ago when I first moved down here. So it's been interesting getting to know all the people around here. But I would say the main thing that makes an open mic unique is the people that show up. It's not necessarily the venue, but it's a combination of the person running it and the people that show up to support it.
Right. Yep. So that anchor of the people that run it, and then the people that gather. Well, thank you for that. That's something I'm sure that we all wonder, especially people who want to run an open mic, or maybe you have one going and want to make it grow. So before I pass this over to Daphne, I've got to say I did not escape the notice of your guitar tree back there, right? And the guitar that's down on the bottom facing us. But we'll talk about those perhaps next time that we gather together. Thank you, Louis. Good to hear from you again. Daphne, back to you.
Wow. Yes, a guitar tree. I hadn't quite thought of calling it that, but it's exactly where it is. Wouldn't it be nice if the guitars grew on it and then he could just pick another one every day? Yeah. Thank you, Louis. That was a lot of fun. And now we are going to go to East Patchogue, New York to hear Hank Stone, who likes to play at the North Shore Original Open Mic at the Cinema Arts Center in Huntington on Wednesdays. But today is Sunday and he is on Open Mic America. So Hank Stone, you have our stage.
Thank you, Daphne. Just wanted to correct one thing. It's pronunciation of it's Patchogue, like catalog. You know, even though we have the UE at the end, it's just Patchogue.
I should have asked you about that in advance, but that is a good thing to know. Thank you.
It's okay. No offense taken down here in Long Island. We have a lot of strange names, mostly indigenous names. So I've heard a few people mention it getting dark early, the days getting shorter. So this addresses that. It's called Hope is Reborn. It's December and it gets dark early. It happens every year. My friends say, don't worry, winter solstice is coming near. Why do we have to wait so long to see the sun climb higher in the sky? Light a candle, huddle close to the season of hope is nigh. Hope is reborn. Hope is reborn. Every night, with every light, hope is reborn. The old clock of the universe, it's been ticking for billions of years. Nobody knows how it got wound up to play the music of the spheres. The earth rolls around the sun and it wobbles in its path. Astronomers all study the stars and then they do the math, and hope is reborn. Hope is reborn. Every night, with every light, hope is reborn. Hope is reborn. We join together and rejoice, kindling harmony, one heart, one voice. Weary travelers seek refuge, and once again they are turned away. What if we all had to wander like that just to find a safe place to stay? Your father's touch and your mother's gaze, you were born at a difficult time. If we are wise, we will bring gifts, cool reason, and sweet rhyme. Hope is reborn. Hope is reborn. Every night, with every light, hope is reborn. Hope is reborn. Hope is reborn. Every night, with every light, hope is reborn.
Yeah.
Yes, an optimistic song.
Good job, Hank.
Got a few of those. I have some dark things too with it. So as long as we're in the Christmas season here, I've got another Christmas song. A couple of years back, I was at another open mic, and after a couple of visits, over the months, the host said, "Oh, that's Hank Stone. He's always seasonally correct." So this is me being seasonally correct. I write a lot of holiday songs, and you really can only do them in December, so I'm going to make the most of it. Stockings by the fireplace, waiting for a gift. Children lie a-dreaming, and little hearts will lift. Cookies in the oven, as Harry Connick sings. Sleigh bells on the rooftop, or am I hearing things? Wrapping paper, scotch tape, weary you and me. Placing the presents under the tree. Coffee is brewing, we've been up half the night. The children come running, their eyes so bright. Oh, what a morning, this Christmas morning. Oh, what a day, this Christmas day. Jesus in the manger, with the animals around. Mary and Joseph, they hardly hear a sound. Angels tell the shepherds, come and see the King. The star shines bright, 3 wise men to bring. Oh, what a morning, this Christmas morning. Oh, what a day, this Christmas day. Now, all of these stories, whether or not they're true, somehow they're gonna help us to pull ourselves through. We get up each morning and we give it all we're worth. Awake but still we're dreaming of peace on earth. Oh, what a morning, this Christmas morning. Oh, what a day, this Christmas day. Oh, what a morning, this Christmas morning. Oh, what a day, this Christmas day.
Yay, Hank.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right on, right on. So Hank, speaking of seasonal correctness, so what season of life were you in, and what was going on at that time when you were inspired to write your first song?
Oh my goodness, the first song? I don't know if I can remember back that far. It's like, over 50 years. I grew up listening to AM radio, all the top hits in the 60s, from like 62 through until later in the 60s when I started listening to FM and the longer cuts. But all that classic stuff from, the Monkees to James Brown to Motown to Love and Spoonful, everything was different and everything was good, and you had to get it done in 3 minutes. So I think I just started writing parodies. That's what I remember. I would write, instead of red rubber ball, I'd write green basketball, silly things. Just, you got a feel for the way words work with music. And eventually started writing my own songs. And the early ones, I might be able to reconstruct a few in my mind, but it's not worth it. Eventually I felt I got good at it, and it's been a long haul. It's just been a lot of fun.
Just the fact that you mentioned that you were doing parodies really shows that you were born to write songs, because my favorite guitarist and musician in the world is Justin Hayward. That's my hero. And, you know, I mean, he grew up covering the Hollies and everybody else that was coming from America. And so many people do that, but you took those songs and you made them your own. And then, yeah, that's really wonderful. I'm glad you shared that story with us. I'm glad I asked a question. It helps me to know you a little bit better, Hank. Thank you for that, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas
Back
to
to
you all.
you.
Yes, Hank, and thank you, Evan. And we only have two more performers to go in this evening. We have a Ron Selfridge next from Eugene, Oregon, and he likes to play at the Tap House Open Mic in Eugene also. Welcome again, Ron. Take it away.
Hi, glad to be back. Before I start, just once again, thanks to everybody who puts these things together. We appreciate it. So thank you very much. So I think I'll follow up Hank with my little Christmas song, because if you have a Christmas song, I guess you got to pull it out now. But I wrote this for a little guy. It's Christmas morning, the young boy awakes. There is his family and fluffy snowflakes. Bright lights adorn the Christmas tree. He sits for the first time on Santa's knee. Family and loved ones on this holiday. Sweet baby boy smiles with Christmas joy. First time to tell Santa he'd like a new toy. Flies down the hill on his trusty sled. Dreams of Saint Nick when he's in bed. Family and loved ones on this holiday. Family gathered on Christmas Day. Bright-colored ribbons and Santa's sleigh. Family and loved ones on this holiday. Snowmen are dancing to Christmas carols. Angels are singing, hark in the herald. He looks up above for a red sled. Santa's reindeer, they soar overhead. Family and loved ones on this holiday. Jingle bells singing throughout the land. As all Santa's elves, they work hand in hand. Wise men are tending to the manger with care. Jack Frost outside, he's freezing the air. Family and loved ones on this holiday. Family gathered on Christmas Day. Bright-colored ribbons and Santa's sleigh. Family and loved ones on this holiday. Prancer and Dancer fly mile after mile. Presents are open with a big smile. Tractor, a dolly, and a new plane. Sugar plum fairies, they dance in the rain. Family and loved ones on this holiday. Christmas is fading all through the house. Not a creature is stirring, not even a mouse. All the day's memories filling his head. He drifts off to sleep in his cozy bed. Family and loved ones on this holiday.
Yeah.
Nice.
Change the pace a bit here. This is, I guess, about the unfortunate souls that dwell in the darkness up inside their head. Just a desperate man doing what he can, trying to control the madness up inside his head. He feels just like a moth flying towards a flame, a silent faceless creature, a shadow with no name. He's a shadow with no name, trying to wipe away the pain. He's a shadow with no name. He's like a fallen star dropping from the sky. No one there to cry, no one to say goodbye. A hidden jagged scar trying to hide the flaw, a chance that never came. He's a shadow with no name. He's a shadow with no name, trying to wipe away the pain. He's a shadow with no name. Living on the edge, slipping to the dark, and every single bone's about to break apart. A wound that never bleeds, a tree without its leaves, a naked barren man with a burn hole in his soul. He's a shadow with no name, trying to wipe away the pain. He's a shadow with no name. Another broken dream, tearing at the seams. It always ends the same for the shadow with no name. He's a shadow with no name. Just a shadow, just a shadow, just a shadow, a shadow with no name. He's a shadow with no name.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, that's really, really good.
To hear you, Ron.
Thank
Nice
you.
song.
Thank you.
So, Ron, what was interesting about your performance here on Open Mic America today is that really you took two very different extremes in the human condition. The joy of family and gathering and goodness and happiness and joy, and then went right down into that dark burned hole, and so I can imagine that a show, if we were to come out and see one of your shows, would probably have the wide range of emotions like that. And then that makes me wonder, do you write these through song prompts, or these inspirations that really just are coming right from you? Where do your inspirations for these come from?
You know, it's like all of us that write music. I think, you know, I have things, hundreds and hundreds of things on my phone. You know, we're always listening and observing, and you know, I get a lot of things off the TV. You know, the movies and stuff. Somebody will say something, I go, "Wow," you know, I'm going to write that down. But someone else told me once to, and something I've done is go to a library and just start looking at all the titles of the books. Somebody worked hard to figure out those titles, you know, and you can go in and kind of snitch them a little bit, you know, and get ideas for songs. But, you know, when I play out and play, you know, a show, it's a little herky-jerky because I have a sense of humor, and I utilize that too, but you know, it makes for kind of a chaotic little thing to put together when you're trying to do all those different kinds of songs. So
Yeah, excellent. That's exactly what I would expect. Yeah, good. Well, so hopefully I'll have a chance to see you out there live sometime. So, you know, being the gearhead that I am, I have a great collection of chapeaus myself, and I happen to notice that you have some really great hats back there, and not just a few.
uh-huh.
Yeah,
You gotta have a hat.
right.
Need a
Yep.
hat. Might
And for the
rain.
right occasion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, thank you for bringing your varied style to the Open Mic America stage tonight. We
Appreciate you having me.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Daphne, back to you.
Thank you, Ron. And believe it or not, we are coming to the end of our show. We're going to have Ken Gaines from Oregon City, Oregon, take us home. And he likes to go to the Portland Hostel Cafe on Monday nights for their weekly open mic. And he's going to be there tomorrow. Today he's here. Take us home, Ken.
Okay. And I also have been hanging out with the Artichoke folks and the Songwriter Soiree. I am brand new to this area. I mean, a month and a half ago, I moved from Texas. So, you know, Deb's talking about New Braunfels and the Redbird, and Jules talking about the New World Deli. I know those places intimately. So I'll take all the help I can get from all you Oregon folks here. This first song is one I've been going through the process of, I wrote that. I better try to remember it again. I wrote this for my good friend Bill Staines, whom we lost a while back, not too long ago, actually. But at the same time, I was studying kind of the phrasing that Gordon Lightfoot used over and over again and never overused it. Greet the morning with a smile. Squint your eyes against the sun. You could have stuck around a while. That old engine needs to run. Last night the songs rang out so true. You wish the night would never end. Today you'll travel somewhere new. Tomorrow sing them all again. You're a dry land sailor tossed on this ocean. You've taken a notion to roam. Dry land sailor lost in the motion of making this ocean your home. Sailor on dry land, out on a rolling river road. A ready smile and a steady hand, a hungry heart and a heavy load. Born underneath the wandering star, borne along by a restless wind. No one us how far, no thoughts of where the journey ends. You're a dry-land sailor tossed on this ocean. You're taking a notion to roam. Dry-land sailor lost in the motion of making this ocean your home. Panorama of the road unfolds before your wondering eyes. The farmer's fields all plowed and sowed, the little towns, the western skies, mountain snows, the southern coast, the flood of spring, the turn of fall. Ask you which you favor most. Tell the truth, you love them all. You're a dry-land sailor tossed on this ocean. You've taken a notion to roam. Dry-land sailor lost in the motion of making this ocean your home. Dry-land sailor tossed on this ocean. You've taken a notion to roam. Dry-land sailor lost in the motion of making this ocean your home. Welcome home. There, I remembered it.
Yahoo!
All right.
Thank you. I don't know how many of you knew Bill Staines, but he was a true road warrior, and I had a great, a funny relationship with him because I met him in Colorado, and then the next year I went to see him in Albany, New York. And he's like, "Wait a minute," and then about a year and a half later, it was Houston, Texas, and then Kerrville, Texas, and the last other place I got to see him was he was doing a show in Columbia, Missouri, and I was doing a show close by and sneaked in there. He's like, "No, man, you can't be here." So great guy, great writer. Here's one that shows my southern roots. Sunset on the river, water's all aglow. Been sitting on this bank all day, watching it flow. I got a line out in the channel, but I stopped fishing long ago. I'm just sitting, sipping whiskey real slow. There's a gator on the surface, big old catfish in his mouth. As he takes it to the bottom, my heart is sinking south and drag me down where I don't want to go. Oh, how could she leave me so low? It's been a catfish morning, catfish afternoon. Tonight there'll be a catfish catfish moon. Catfish moon, waltzing on the water. Catfish moon, lazy little daughter of the sun, who's always rolling round too soon. Catfish moon, waltzing on the water. Catfish moon, lazy little daughter of the sun, who's always rolling round too soon. Funny how my rambling brought me right back to the spot where the fishing and the whiskey and the wind was so damn hot. We'd take a boat out on the river, throw a blanket on the bow, and make love beneath the catfish moon. Catfish moon, waltzing on the water. Catfish moon, lazy little daughter of the sun, who's always rolling round too soon. It's been a catfish morning, a catfish afternoon. Tonight there'll be a catfish moon. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yes.
That's
Good
a
to be here. Thank y'all for doing this. I really appreciate it.
That was just a great song to finish out the night, this afternoon of live music on the Open Mic America stage. And, Ken, as I was reading some things about you, I mean, you have awards. You have been around a lot of places, around people of notoriety. You've been doing this quite some time, and people love you. And so I just got to ask, how the heck? What brought you to Oregon City?
Family.
Okay, that's a good answer.
I'm of an age to get close. I have two sons who live in Oregon, and their wives, and even more importantly, granddaughter. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah, those are the best reasons for sure. And I mean, really, so, being local, and I'm glad to say that I'm glad you're in our neck of the woods now, because I'm sure we've got some stages that we can bring you to and introduce
Thank
you
you.
to
I'll
some folks
take all
around
the
here.
help I can get, Evan.
We'll look
and
forward
I
to
really
that.
look forward to meeting all of you too. I mean, there's a couple of I mean, Hank and I have run into each other from time to time, and of course I know Deb, but I just met Deb just this past year at the Southwest Regional Folk Alliance, and then she came out to the Kerrville Festival too. But
Outstanding. Well, as you're finding out, you've been here just a little bit, but really you're in a very beautiful place. Oregon City is in, a banana belt. The weather's, a little better there sometimes. But I mean, you're 45 minutes away from the snow if you want to ski or snowboard. You're an hour away from the beach, and then just a little past the snow is the desert. Really, this is truly a wonderful place to be. Oregon is a great place to land, and I'm glad you're here with family.
Thank you. I'm real happy to be here, and yes, it's just stunning. I mean, I've visited here several times beforehand, and my kids dragged me all over the place. So that had something to do with it. I knew I was moving to a place that I could look out the window of my van and love what I see. So.
Well, I know in your song about drinking whiskey slow, you said you don't fish anymore, but there's some really great fishing here too. But
I do fish.
Excellent. Good. Yeah. Lots of places just right outside Malala, just outside of Oregon City there, up in the Narrows. There's a lot of really great places to fish. So, as I was reading through your bio this week, I noticed that you enjoy teaching young people how to play music.
Yeah.
And that's wonderful because, there's just always a budding generation of artists that are ready to be, raised up in it. And so I'm wondering, have you discovered a way to set the hook, so to speak, and ignite a burning desire to become a person who will spend the rest of their life making music? And if so, can you give us a sample of that bait?
Basically what I do, and I work with, I mean, I've done this on my own, but I work with a great team with the Kerrville Music Camp for Teens. And this is a great team of professional, both musicians and teachers. And the first thing we try to do, and I say we, and I do it, is realize that, let all of these young folks know that they have a voice, they have something to say, and if songwriting or poetry or some of the other things that we throw at them is their way to do it, we'll kind of get them started to show them that. But it's most of it is just saying, what have you got to say? And we really want to hear it. And that works. It works over and over again. Now, I mean, some of the kids, they just have fun with it, and that's great. And most of them, when they start talking to me and others, I let them know that this is not the easiest way to make a living, but it is such a joyous part of, it can be a just joyous part of your life. It is still a joyous part of my life. And I tell them, make it a joyous part of your life and see where you go with it. And then every once in a while, there's some kids who they're just, no, this is what I'm going to do. And I say, yeah. And you better get on it because you don't have time to learn all you need to learn. Go for it now. Go for it. So
I love it. Thank you, Ken, for joining us tonight. Look forward to meeting you in person. And I got to say, right over my shoulder here, you can see my first amplifier, the 1972 Fender Champ, still carrying that thing around after all these years. Thank you, Ken. I'm going to turn this back over to Daphne. Thank you, TK, for making us all sound and look great. And Daphne, back to you.
Well, first, Ken, thank you for your beautiful music and for the things that you shared with us beyond the music. It's something that is dear to all of our hearts. Let's see, we've sadly come to the end of this show. So let's first thank all of our performers. Rob Cork, Deb Westlow, Jules, Tom Cooney, Nick Carter, Louis Beeler, Hank Stone, Ron Selfridge, and Ken Gaines. And also thank you to TK for doing wonderful engineering and all our sound checks and making sure we're live on YouTube. And also thank you to Evan Acey for asking wonderful questions and being such a gracious interviewer. Remember to check our website, openmicamerica.com, for links to the music of all the Open Mic America performers. Find all our archives of all our shows. You can find those on YouTube. And also there's lists of all the places that they suggest that people check out for live performances, open mics, and such. Thank you also to founder Capo Dave Williams, who always works tirelessly behind the scene to make this all possible. And thank you to everybody who is listening on YouTube and who will be listening on YouTube in the future to this show. We archive all of our shows. If you like it, spread the word. Don't keep it a secret. You can even download and print posters or t-shirts from our website. Check out your local and virtual open mics. And be ready for our next show, which is December 18th, with Rich Fassler, MC, Capo Dave as an interviewing host, and I will be the engineer. So stay tuned for the full lineup for next week. And with that being said, everybody, we can wave goodbye and good night, America.
If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.
All right, we're off the air.